talking about Filipinos in entertainment here on Kababayan LA. What's important? Passion for what you're doing for the craft and relationships. You mentioned earlier, we hear this phrase being thrown a lot. It's not.
It's not just. It's just as important. It's just as important, I think, what you know as who you know. I mean, they're building on those relationships, cultivating those, nurturing those relationships.
So
developing those kinds of relationships, making sure that you're not being used and I'm not using you. It's that kind of, what can I do for you or what can we do together? Exactly. When Arnel said earlier about working together with Kaba and everybody else, it's not. It doesn't become work after that. It becomes something creative. It becomes something bigger than.
But not
Filipino experience, the whole community aspect.
Yeah, but not everyone's that helpful. There are people that will take advantage of you. How do you deal with that? Because it's just like negative, right? Yeah. How do you deal with that?
I think there's a certain amount that you have to go through the hard work of it. You know what I mean? You have to learn to be flexible. You have to learn to also separate what's work and what's personal. Grow a thick skin and realize that sometimes someone's energy or negativity is not about you. It's really about what's going on in their life.
Okay, thick skin. Do you confront people?
I confront people when it's the appropriate time. I always confront people when it's the person itself. I don't do it in front of people. I need to say, I need to speak with you alone privately for a second because I need to address an issue that's a problem and is causing tension between us.
Right.
Or something, if it's more of a group, I need to address something as a group. And I have to be very conscientious of speaking and not attacking the other person whom I think needs to have something aired out. Or I need to have something aired out too.
Okay, what if, for example, we're not perfect. We make mistakes. You make a mistake. What do you do?
I hold myself accountable, and I learn from it. I do my best to not repeat that mistake again, and I learn from it.
And ask for people to say, call me out on it if I do it again, because we need to learn.
Welcome criticisms from people, right?
Yeah.
Is it important? How important is it to have a support group that you really trust? Because some people can just be hating.
It's so important because as you deal with people that you love working with and you deal with people that are challenging, you need that those support systems outside of your work too. To be that balance.
So I'm thinking passion, relationships, same with that support system, and also thick skin, very important in this
Responsibility,
field.
accountability.
Responsibility, accountability. What about background? Do you need to go to school? Did you go to school for dancing? Did you go to school for acting? Did you go to school for...
I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, which is a very broad background. And
they say you guys make the best storytellers.
I like to think that I'm a good storyteller. So, I mean, there are many people who feel journalism school is the way to go to pursue being a producer or on-air talent. By all means, but I think it's very important to have an education.
How do you talk to parents? We're very, a culture, we're very close-knit, families close. We are influenced by parents and how they feel. We don't want to disappoint them. How do you talk to parents if they don't want you to be in this field, but you really, really must?
You have to tell them to accept their child as who their child is and go beyond what they want their child to be and whom they raise them. They say, oh, I want my kid to be a doctor or a lawyer or a professional. And they have to see beyond their own expectations. And perhaps they'll be surprised and quite excited as to who their child truly, truly is.
So communication, Arnel, you seem to be very successful. You medical is taking care of health and all the other art. So what will you tell parents that are watching, that have kids that, they probably don't agree with the decisions of the kids, but, what would you tell them?
I think it's not an either or. It's not medical field or an artist. It's actually just who you are. And in my case, it was I have an interest in health science and the arts. And the fusion of them together make me who I am. And that's right for me. But I think it's not just telling the parents. Sometimes you have to show them. So for me, I actually had to invite my parents to my shows. I had to have them witness the energy and feel it to fully understand it and support it. And sometimes it takes that effort to help them actually experience it for them to fully endorse it. That's what I hear from a lot of dancers.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You can tell them and do whatever, but again, their vision for you can be stronger than what your words that you're telling them are. So you have to sometimes have welcome them into the experience so that they can see that it's really just who you are authentically. And ultimately, every parent just wants you to be happy.
Yes, absolutely. That
you know
is
what
the
I mean?
bottom
Because
line.
people are rich, but then they're not happy, and then it's still not there.
Are you happy?
Wow. Getting there. It's a journey, but I am getting happier.
Yeah.
Happier every day.
Tell us where we can catch you.
True Hollywood Story. Steady rotation on the E channel. Entertainment.
And on Twitter, that's the name, @Eric Araya.
@Eric Araya. Yes.
Right. Tamlin, are you happy?
You know what? That's an interesting question. Would you be rather happy and experience those highs of happiness and the lows of not so happy, or would you rather be content? I think I'm content and steady. Yeah, content and steady. As I'm getting older, I'm more happy to be content.
How can you be steady when you're a part of like the biggest show right now, Glee?
I didn't realize how big it was, but I'm so very thankful. But I was telling my other friends that I'm a parent of a Glee kid.
Yes.
I'm Mike Chang's mom.
Yes.
And if they could start inviting everybody's parents on that show would explode to like 3 times its size. So I'm very happy to be a Glee mom.
Right.
But I'm so proud to be part of a show, a phenomena, a social kind of a weapon that really does ask the questions that we all need to ask each other.
And we're happy to see you there. Thank you. More power to you. Very quickly, we ran out of time. Where can we catch you? At the hospital?
Everything's on Facebook. Everything's on my Facebook. It's just Arnel Calvario, but I put everything, my thoughts on there, my events. You can check me out.
And Twitter as well. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
More
you.
power to you.
Thank you.
One more segment on the show. A Filipina producer. Her show is opening tomorrow, and you wouldn't want to miss that. We'll talk about that when we return. Don't go away.